All right, Kenman here, and today is all about Kizer. As you can see, I laid all my Kizers out, and I have quite a few. If you're not aware, Kizer is a little company that makes pocket knives, and they make great ones, and we're talking about them today. Before we start, I'm not sponsored by anyone. I purchase everything at retail price. I do these videos because I love discussing knives and sharing info and ideas with others. If you have any questions or thoughts, please feel free to comment below. All right, so yeah, I'm not sponsored, but I did just gain an affiliation link with Kizer. I reached out to them and they got back to me, and so now I've got that affiliated link. If you want to click on that link below, go to their site. Any purchases you make will benefit me on the channel. I appreciate it. You're by no means obligated to do so, but if you are interested in supporting, much appreciated. Thank you. Thank you to Kizer as well. I did purchase all of these on my own. They have not sent me anything yet, so I'm not really sponsored. I did make my own purchases when I selected all of these knives, and they've been having a lot of really good sales. I've been kind of making some posts, letting other people know about it when there is a good sale, because like I said, I'm not really fully sponsored, but when I make purchases, I look at a company, I find a knife, I try it out, and if I like that knife, then I will continue to look at other knives in that company that they make and give them my business. Kizer's first knife in my collection was sometime this year, I guess, or maybe last year. Within the last year, I've gotten all these Kizers, and like I said already, or maybe I didn't. Yeah, I did. I've got more coming in the mail. They're great. There is another sale. Like I said, pay attention. I'll be posting the sales, and if you use that link, it does help me out. Anyway, so we've got a bunch of Kizer knives to look at today. Like I said, I've been super happy with all of them. They have a lot of variety. I started getting into the smaller knives. I usually am a big knife guy, but once I started messing around with some of these smaller little minis, they're fantastic. They're just great. So we're going to go through all of the Kizers that I currently have, kind of talk about them just briefly. All of them have unboxings and a little bit more detailed descriptions of them there. And I will be doing some deep dives on them as we progress. But for now, we'll just be kind of a quick little look, kind of talk about some of the Kizers that I've got, what I feel about them. It'll help you make some decisions on if you want to have a couple Kizers in your collection. Okay, we'll start with the big, bad, crazy. It's called the Mini. This is the Mini Paragon. If I can get that in focus, maybe I can't. But yeah, the Mini Paragon. 154 cm, huge shark kind of shaped blade. I love the shape of this blade. It's just gnarly. This knife is ridiculous. It's huge. It's got a nice flipper tab and then flicks out good. Like I said, 154 cm in micarta. That's a pretty solid mix from Kizer. A lot of these have micarta and the 154 cm. It's a good combination for a not too terribly expensive knife. This one is ridiculous, but man, tell me that's not fun, right? All right, the Kizer Mini Paragon. Next up, we've got a sheepdog. Sheepdog is a cool knife. This is my first full-size sheepdog. It's got a nice little choke-up spot right there. You can really get your hand in here. It just feels nice. This one's a mini sheepdog. We'll look at that sometime soon, but I got two sheepdogs. They have a lot of different variants for the sheepdog. Nice set of jimping right there. Another one with the 154 cm. This one has a Richlight handle. I haven't had a chance to mess with the Richlight too much, but I love the texture on this with that kind of double hexagon kind of pattern. It feels good. It feels tight in the hand. I like it. Regular size sheepdog, liner lock. Excellent knife. Lots of variety with the sheepdog. Check that one out. This one here has started to become one of my favorites. This is the Kizer K. If you saw recently, I did a swap. You can check it out right there. But the original Richlight one had the black liners, kind of like this sheepdog does. Here, actually, I could do that real quick. So the Kizer K had black liners, so it was very similar to this sheepdog, and I swapped it for the silver liners, which I think makes that blue pop a little bit more, right? But so since I did that, I put the black ones on the red handle. So now this red handle one with the micarta and the nice contour has these black, all the screws and the pocket clipper all black. It kind of, I think red and black look great together. And then this one with the blue and then just all that silver across the back. I just get a little bit more of an accent. The black kind of just hides and doesn't stick out or pop quite as much with the blue. Kizer K. I really enjoy this knife. Flicks out great. Another 154 cm blade. This micarta though, tell me that contour. It feels great in the hand. Another big rack full of jimps right there. Get your thumb in there. Now this one, it looks like it doesn't have a choke up spot, but it has jimps right there. So those jimps, actually, you can go up as like it's a choke up spot and your finger gets stuck in there, you know, versus like on the sheepdog, it has a little bit more of a groove. So you kind of, your hand sits in that groove, which is very common. But in this case, this is the first one I've noticed that has jimps. Comment below if you know of any other models that have jimps right there for that choke up spot. Feels really good though. Look at how this is in the hand. I honestly want to say the Kizer K could be one of my favorites. The way this thing fits in my hand, the way it feels, the action. Look at this drop. Ugh, it just drops. Kizer action is fantastic. That's one of the things that's drawn me back to it. They feel great, but then that action is just consistently, oof. These are a little bit heavier blades, so the weight of that blade is helping, but man, smooth like butter. Kizer K. Excellent choice. Another twofer I've got right here is the Kobold, the Kizer Kobold. This one's another 154 cm and micarta. It's got a really cool front flipper on it too that works really, really nice. But yeah, flick out is easy, close is nice, thumbs out easy, front flipper. It's got a nice little choke up spot on it too. This one I might even like more than the Kizer K. You can't swap the clip to the other side on these, but, oops, caught myself there. Why am I thumbing out? It's a flick out action all day. Kizer Kobold, like I said, this is the 154 cm and micarta, like a lot of the Kizer stuff. This one has 4V and aluminum. So they're the same. This, you know, maybe the weight feels just a little bit different. This is a little bit smoother. The micarta has a little bit more grippy feel than the aluminum, although it doesn't feel slippery on the aluminum. Such a cool knife. Good action. Like I said, if you want one that's got a fun front flipper on it, the Kobold is excellent. It's got a neat kind of Ferrari kind of notches cut out and a little swoop. Kind of has that race car kind of look. I dig it. I dig it. Kizer Kobold. Or Kobold, I don't know. Either way, it's another one. I have two of them. You know, if I got two of them, that must be something that I like, that I went and got another one. Moving forward, we have the Kizer Lieb M. So I'm assuming there's a Lieb small or a Lieb large, since this is like a medium. This one's a button lock, and look at the action. Boom. It just works almost every time. This thing is flawless. This is a worker. If I were to have one that would just be an excellent worker, it feels great in the hand. Nice grip, not too big. Good kind of finger spot for just doing some draw cuts. The button works great. The flipper works excellent. I actually did the die on this. Oh, wow. There's a fail. A couple fails. Just, oh, fidgety today, Dan. Settle down. Okay. So, as you can see, it looks kind of weathered. I kind of did some aging, multiple dyes, and then sanding on the edges and stuff to kind of give it this dirty, kind of worn look. I love it. It turned out great. I'm super happy with it. It's pretty much brand new. I've hardly gotten any use, but it's got that aged kind of weathering that I'm just fond of. I'll be doing more of it in the future, so pay attention to that. But for a button lock, it pretty much just drops. If you just aren't messing around like I have been, you can see that that action, consistent, works great, feels great. Nice looking little button lock there. Kizer Lieb M. This is the only Kizer right here that I actually had to send back. This is the Kizer Bugai. The first one that I got was really tight. There was something wrong. I think the detent ball wasn't like pushed in hard enough or whatever it was. But every once in a while, that's just something that happens. You get a knife and there's just one that just doesn't seem to have the right action to it. As you can see, this has got that same Kizer drop, 154 in the micarta. But the other one, I was sitting there, I'd be going like this. I'm like, and I could not get it to flick out. And this one obviously flicks out significantly easier. So I messaged and basically sent it back to the company. They sent me a new one. The new one is significant. That old one, I would have just been upset, never really used it because I couldn't flick it out. And this one, this Bugai is actually really cool. It's just a beefy kind of a blade. It's a nice feeling knife. Looks really cool. I dig it. And it's got a nice drop, just like they all do. Kizer Bugai. Moving to the... Sorry. The Kizer Hiccup. Not a big fan of the name. Wasn't a real big fan of the look of it at first either. Just something didn't really strike me. I don't know what it was. I saw it. I kind of respected it. I like button locks, but I didn't really go for it. And then it was on one of their sales, and I picked it up. And now I'm glad I did. I wasn't a huge fan, like I said, of the looks initially, but the feel, the button, the flick out, my poor thumb out. This knife is fun. It's got a front flipper that I'm failing right now. There you go. But ultimately, I was a little turned off at first, and I've completely turned around since. I'm glad I have this knife. It's fun. It works pretty good. That button does work nice. It does feel good. It flicks out good. It feels nice in the hand. Another worker. And look at the natural weathering on this particular micarta. Most of them have this simple kind of even texture to them, like that. That's what this one was before I messed with it. This one's just got like this dirty building, kind of like rain hit it and it's got mud and just stuff that's kind of weathered over time. I really like it. I probably won't do anything to this particular micarta because I just like the way it looks already. Struggle with that front flipper a little bit, but it's not bad. Hiccup, button lock, pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. Even more exciting one. This button lock I like a lot more. This is the Dogfish. So Kizer Dogfish. Look at the texture pattern, that ripple effect on the scales. You can swap the clip to the other side, and it's got this little nub that you would use to replace. Some people aren't a big fan because it's not exactly perfect. And so if you looked right there, it kind of hangs off that edge a little bit. It's supposed to sit, one side's a little longer, there we go, than the other. So when you do that swap to the left, it doesn't quite line up the same way it should on the right, but it's so subtle that it doesn't bother me. It's got a little flipper for the rear flipper, which works good. The button works good. Flick out works nice. It seems like it's a tight spot to get in there, but you can get in there with the thumb easy. You can flick it out pretty easy. Works good. Hold on. My phone says it's dying. So I need to plug it in. Where have I been all day with a phone that is dying? All right, there we go. And now it's pulling. Hold on a second. Technical difficulties in the middle of the video. There we go. There we go. We're good. We're good. Boop, boop, boop. All right. Kizer Dogfish. Like I said, it flicks out good. Thumbs out good. That rear flipper is nice. It also has a front flipper that I just caught on my thumb. But it's neat because it's got a nice fidgety action to it. Dogfish. Cool knife. Fun knife. Very happy with it. I'd like to carry this one more. That choke up spot. This is one that's a good size. Would be a great worker, great daily carry knife. And a great fidget knife just because they're all the different styles that you can use to mess around with it. Kizer Dogfish. Okay, oh, we're a little off. Shift. Boom, moving on up. All right, this is the LP. I love the LP. The action on this, it's just clean. Boom. This one's not a heavy blade, but look at the action. Just drops, feels great. It's a very gentleman's-y, kind of a fancy, simple, elegant knife. I did the fade dye on this. If you haven't checked any of those out, bing, right there. So I got a nice little fade from the orange up to the red. Been having some fun with those dyes, doing some variety. But yeah, that flipper just flips out very good. It's very satisfying. Nice drop, great feel. LP, another one that you could carry every day and use every day. It just works good. Feels great in the hand. Excellent blade shape. That tip, easy to control. Boom. Kizer LP. PPY. This one's another fun one. This one wants to cut me. It just wants to drop shut. I'm going to switch to my right. See, when I do that with the right, you can go like that, and you basically get caught every time, and you're fine, because you can go like that. But with the left, when you get in there like this, it wants to drop, and you have your thumb up in the way, so you can't catch it quite the same. And this one just wants to it doesn't have anything keeping it from closing. It just wants to drop close. So you got it a little sideways, and just, well, once you get it there, you barely swing it, and it's close me. It's fun. It's a great knife. It's got good action. It feels nice. It's got that micarta, but it's kind of a two-tone micarta, which is really cool. I'm a fan. But like I said, you got to be careful because it wants to cut me. I've probably got a little nick right there from that same type of thing. It's every once in a while, knives for lefties, you have to be careful if they want to close easy and there isn't a way to get in there like this. It just wants to come all the way around. It's kind of harder to get to it on the PPY versus like the Towser. When I do that, see how like it just drops and my thumb is in that spot. It's real easy to make sure it stops without catching you. Just one of the things to look out with the PPY. It doesn't mean it's not a nice knife. Opens, got great action, good drop, good feel. Nice little knife. Here's a Serape original. This is my second original. First original I did a laser mark on, and then someone purchased it, so I don't have it in my possession anymore. So I wanted to get another original because this button lock, as you can see, it's got great action. Flicks out really easy. Thumb out is nice. You can just use the button. This is their Serape. Sorry, I can't pronounce it right. Limited one, so it came with a few extra little goodies and a little lanyard bead that matches this texture or the pattern. Pattern is cool. It's got kind of that blanket look. Looks to mine, it looks like it's got these little eyes right there. And then I like the way that the back looks yellow. Very cool. I'm not a huge major colorful kind of a person. I tend to like more solid colors, but this knife is cool. And the original is a great little, it's a smaller button lock knife, but it feels good in the hand. Nice little choke up. If you're looking for a smaller knife that's got great action, that just works really good, that it will just be reliable, the Kizer original is fantastic. Good stuff. Amicus. This was my first Kizer. This has very similar action to the Lieb, where all you have is that flipper tab, but if you look, it opens, it closes, opens, it closes, it opens perfectly just about every time. I did the dye on this, just a nice simple, it was jade. I made it a little blue. But yeah, that button lock just works really good, flips out excellent. Flawless knife, really nice little feel, real simple. If you're looking for a budget knife, the Amicus is a really good buy. It just works every time, and it's simple. There's kind of a no nonsense because you don't have a lot of fidget factor. You really basically have the flipper and then the button, but it works and it does feel great. So you get a satisfaction out of opening and closing it. Kizer Amicus. Here's my other sheepdog. This is the mini sheepdog. This one has a button lock to it. So thumbs out easy, flicks out easy. You can use that button. Very cool. Another 154 cm in aluminum. Excellent little mini. It does have that choke up spot. So for a small knife, this is a small knife, but I get that choke up spot with my larger hand, and look at how much it sticks out the back. You got some control with this little bit of a swoop right there. You can sit your thumb on it and make some cuts. Get your index finger out, draw. This is a great little daily carry. It's fun. It's got some fidget factor, opening it different ways. It pretty much is another flawless open and close. Looks really nice. Sheepdog is great. Like I said, there's so many different sheepdogs out there. Oops. Hands get tired, do all these opening. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, a couple of sheepdogs in my collection. I probably am going to get some more. Comment below, how many sheepdogs do you have? All right. Final stretch here. We're almost there, finishing up with these minis on my Kizer collection. This is the Urban Bowie. Tell me this little guy isn't super cool. So the thumb out is a little bit harder on this, but whenever I can flick it out, I'm not going to thumb it out much. I'm just going to do that. Works great. Nice little choke up spot. Interesting shape on this huge curved belly. Like if you needed to do some skinning or some work, that belly, that round belly, just getting in there and making some cuts and moving your way across. I tell you, this thing is great. It's small, fits in the pocket good. Some of these smaller ones, I took the pocket clip off and didn't put it back on. I kind of like them going in the 5th pocket. Just drops in nice. What's nice about this other one, it's this small. It still has that Kizer action. Still, you just grab it, boom, drop shut, does its thing. Kizer Urban Bowie, or Mini Urban Bowie. Okay, this is the get my thumb stuck in there, get my index finger stuck in there. Can I open it successfully? There it is. If there was one Kizer I would complain about, it's the hole on this thing. This is the Cybertruck. So it's the Cyber Blade, Kizer Cyber Blade. But that cutout is just enormous. It's so big. It's cool. They're trying to mimic the Cybertruck. It's neat. It's got that little glass breaker tail on there. It's an interesting shape, but I think they should have rolled the windows up a little bit. Oh, there, I failed it because I'm trying not to get my finger stuck in there because it likes to flick out and get stuck. But yeah, if they would have just rolled that window up just a little bit more so that only part of your finger could go through there, then you wouldn't have that issue. I go to thumb it out and it's like you get stuck like that almost every time. Flick it out, boom. You know, it's a cool knife. It's a novelty knife. If you're a collector, I can see how you would want this. If you like the Cybertruck or you like weird shaped knives, great for the collection. I dig it. But the satisfaction, the opening, I'm worried because I'm trying to get it to flick out without getting stuck, and that just becomes a thing. Interesting for a weird shaped knife, though, I tell you what. Kizer Cyber Blade. All right, 2 more. Mini October. Got some micarta with a cool frag pattern on it. This has also got that standard 154 cm blade steel that works great on all the Kizers, I tell you. So this one you can, if you do it just right, there you go, you can flick it out even though there's nothing to get a hold of. I'm actually kind of considering maybe drilling and doing a little mod, drilling a little hole in there, making a little flicking hole, might be cool. Does have that nice flipper tab on the back that is satisfying. It works well. This is another one that wants to come around and cut my thumb. Because it does want to drop, you can just swing it and it just shuts in one. So when you go around like this, it can get all the way here and it wants to catch that thumb, versus if you did it with your right, you pretty much got your nail in the way and you're a little bit safer. But it's a cool blade. I like the design. This one, I would say if there was any negatives, the pocket clip and the frag pattern makes it a little bit difficult going in and out of the pocket. But because it's one of those smaller knives, I took the clip off because I just throw it in my 5th pocket. Mini October, I believe there must be a regular size October as well. Might have to check that out in the future. That little choke up spot and where your thumb sits right there, this is another one of those small knives that feels huge. Great stuff. I dig it. Kizer October. Last one, but not least, even though it is the smallest, the Kizer Banish. That's it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. We do have this Kizer Banish. You guys enjoy this? Please hit the like button. Subscribe if you'd like to see more. Helps me out, and I really appreciate it. But yeah, the Kizer Banish. This thing is cool. Got a little front flipper on there that I'm failing because I'm at the end of my video here and my fatigue is starting to set in. The button works good, right? You can flick it out pretty easy. thumbs out easy. It's actually interesting because it's so small, but that thumb flick out is satisfying. Every opening for this. This is another one that's got that fidget factor with the front flipper. Super fun. I can dig it. So the Kizer Banish 154 cm in micarta. It is a match made in heaven for me in Kizer world, I tell you what. But the Banish, this one is great. It doesn't really have a choke up spot. You kind of feel like you're kind of stuck here with just a couple of fingers to hold on. But if you do go up to there, your middle finger gets stuck in this groove, and it actually is a choke up spot because now your index finger is resting against that and it holds it right in that position. So you can get these nice controlled cuts with it. You can get in there and do a nice little draw. This is a great fifth pocket. Oh, there was a drop. Had to do it before the end of the video. But yeah, you can do a lot of good stuff with this little teeny guy. I think this is one that I want to carry a lot. I have quite a few of the smaller knives, and this one's kind of winning. Just the fidget factor for it, all the different types of opening methods, and just the fact that it just works pretty much every time. It's a great little knife, and it's small enough that you can kind of have it in that fifth pocket and have it do that work for you when you need to without having something too crazy if you're on shorts or something like that. Not a bad knife. Yes, indeed. Kizer is here to stay. Tell me below, comment, what Kizers do you have in your collection? Which ones do you have multiples of? Have you seen that last video that I did where I did the swap on these? You should check it out right there. Boom. Stay sharp. If you want to buy a Kizer, use my affiliate link. It helps me out. See you next time.